Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Monsieur. I'm returning today to continue this discussion about the ascension process. For in many sense, there is only 0.1% of the population that is aware of that potential of being to recognize ourselves as interdimensional, multidimensional beings that come from the essence and source of love and light that are eternal and infinite. And as we integrate this higher light, our mission will be to inform the 99.9% of the others. For if people recognize themselves as this presence of love and light, all the problems of the world will be solved like that. But they do not. They work through the ego in opposition, and so we need to work with that. And I'm going to just finish my book in French, and I placed it online called Beyond the Veils of Illusion I Am. But it's not really the traduction. I started to read it online on my playlist, but it's a kind of a rough translation. I will soon remove it, and when I complete it, I will put the final version, which will be more refined in terms of language. But there's still good information there. So all the information I present here are comments from this book to recognize. It explains all the ins and outs, what we need to know in order to recognize ourselves as multidimensional beings. And so, in a sense, what we are here to do is to make mistakes. We are here to make mistakes and learn from our mistakes. And as we learn, we grow. And so it is very important to understand that, not to blame yourself for your mistakes, because when we look at our past, we can see a long list of regrets. If we knew better then, we would have moved into this thing, we would have done that differently. So in many sense, we have to understand that the situation, we dealt with it the best way we could, and it was perfect in relationship to the level of consciousness that we were then. And it is through those experiences that we are able to grow and become who we are. So we have to look at our past with compassion and move on. Whatever had value in the past, if there is a need for it to come back into the future, it will be there. So trust that. And when I say do not trust the prediction that other people made for you, it is your choice, your life. Follow your inner guidance, your inner self. No tarot, astrology, mediums, psychic, no matter what telling you anything about your future. You can look at the collective prediction about the collective, listen to what it said and listen to the collective. But when it comes to you, it is your choice, your soul, your inner guidance knows best. You know best. And so, and only your inner self knows your future. It's like this. They already know your I am presence, and your soul already have a lot, and your guides, they already know your future. They already see it. It's just down here we have a hard time seeing it. For myself, I'm going through a cleansing, and I'm really eager. I'm like for to do a cleansing of the physical self. It takes for me, it takes about 90 days because I exercise a lot, but I'm 60 days into the process. I'm really eager to be through that process. I know that every day, but I'm feeling much more seated within my I am presence, more seated within myself each and every day, but I'm eager to go through this whole process, to be through that. So it requires patience. And so I already said all the difficulties of our life are not part of they are not divine judgment. It is not God that wants to apply this karma, those heavy things. It is just for us an opportunity to address certain things, to heal certain things, to change certain things, to bring things into balance. So it is all about opportunities. As we are able to look at things differently, things are changing. So what we seek is to become our best self, our higher self, the best version of ourselves. Understanding that we already love, we are already complete, we are already one. We were created as divine perfect beings of love and light, and we've never been anything else but that. It is just our conditioning that when we go through this kind of past life, this path of life, we are led to believe all kinds of things that are less than that, and so we have to disengage from our belief system, our thoughts, anything that can be negatively orienting in relation to the judgment on ourselves, because we are already. And as we trust and know that we are love, we are loved and love, and we are one, then we tune into that reality, which is not an illusion reality, the eternal reality of God, of Spirit. For now, it's a very powerful time for spiritual revelation. The sun is going through Pisces. Happy birthday to all the Pisces. I'm having my birthday in about a week or so. And so, in a sense, it is a time for the Pisces is the ocean, the cosmic ocean. It is the unity of it all. It is about confronting all the belief system. And so, It is the spiritual aspect, it is the infinite aspect. And so right now the sun and the moon are going to come together in this new moon in Pisces in a few days, or maybe this day when I'll put this video online, but or maybe past, I'm not really sure when I'll put this video online, but in a sense it will conjunct Neptune, so it will be a very powerful and deep mystic revelation. For those videos are non-temporal, I'm making them a little bit in advance because I may be busy, so I know I'll be able to continue to put videos online. And there is also a square of Neptune and Uranus, of Venus and Uranus. Uranus is the awakener. Neptune is what we love. It's our money. It's all our preferences. So we are awakened to see what it really works, to open ourselves to the abundance. With Jupiter going through the Sagittarius. So it is a year for tuning into the abundance and letting go of the idea of lack. So in a sense, we cannot be in oneness all the time, being joy all the time. That doesn't work. I mean, when we ascend, we'll be there. But for now, when God does not expect that of us, we have to have an equal balance between our individual self and our oneness, a universal self. It's okay to come out of that state. When you're not in joy, try to be neutral rather than being through the heights of ecstasy and the depths of despair to move into extreme. So it's about finding the balance between the individual self and then it's no longer the personality is not expressed through the ego, but the soul. The soul is the go-between, between the God in the higher self and the devil in the lower self, or the ego and the higher self and the God self. And so for we are the presence of light and dark within ourselves. There is nothing outside of ourselves in truth. Everything is come from within. The whole universe was created from within. And so we all have this inner self in common. When we say namaste, we salute this inner self, this inner presence. And so I also wanted to say the planet has been damaged because of decades of war and ecological destruction. A lot of the youth of the world are rebelling against that, for it is not about the climate change, the climate world change, but it's about being more responsible ecologically, to become aware that the planet needs to be respected. There is no B planet. We're not going to find another planet, although there are many Earth globes. We will not be given another one to destroy. We have to fix this one to find a way to let it restore itself, mostly, for the planet is self-regenerative. It is a very intelligent being. And so, in a sense, what she will do is she needs first is to fix the inner ocean, the bottom of the ocean, for there's so much pollution that are down there, and this is where it's going to start. But because of that, she doesn't want to hurt our humanity, but the humanity will have to adapt. There is no choice, and a lot of the coastal region, although there are some big cities in many places, will be flooded, there will be, and then there may be continent that comes out, there may be also that will sink, so all kinds of things. So follow your inner guidance. Your inner guidance will let you know in advance. Those who, and then you can always, it's like Cassandra, she sees the future, then you can inform others. They may not believe you, and then they will have, when the horse of Troy, the horse wanted to come into the city of Troy, she said, don't let this thing come into the city, but nobody believed her, and so they lost the war. So it's about following your inner guidance, so trusting that inner self and follow that. And if other people do not follow your own guidance, then what you can provide for them, just let them be. Trust that God will take care of them. And but there may be some great shift in relationship to the physical structure of the Earth in the year and decades to come. So it is not something but it can happen anytime. The Earth is working, is thinking on how to do that. And so I wanted to say that. I'm going to pull a few cards and speak of twin soul. And so it's not a matter of being afraid. If you feel like you want to move into, you have a chance to buy a house by the beach, and you feel like your inner self is happy there, do not fear that. This is a place where you need to be. But then if just comes from the mind, it is like you don't feel like, but you want that and you can afford it and you do it anyway. It's not because you get that. I mean, it is always good to check in with your inner self, all the important decisions, because your inner self, your God self, already knows everything about your future, everything that's going to be happening, or they can see so far beyond what we can see as individual consciousness. The highest wisdom for us today is the navels, the vessels. It's about traveling. It's about moving into new adventure. It's about crossing the great sea, the great ocean, to move to do great things, to move into a completely new programs of exploration. What we need to understand is the trees. The trees are about growth, it's about evolution, it's about anchoring our energy, it's about expanding into higher realm. And they are consciousness within the trees, higher consciousness. They're not personality, they're more universal entities. But they are very beautiful. We love trees and we want to reconnect as much as possible. I know in my next, very soon, in my next phase, I will be a lot more connected to nature. And I'm really looking forward to that. And so what we need to do is traveling or living. So it is ready. I have my passport ready. My luggages are ready. Everything is ready. I'm just waiting for the call and hop, go. And the outcome will be finance, it's money. It's the ability to have an abundance of money. We deserve to have an abundance. We need to have this relationship with money that we know that money loves us and we love money and we have it in abundance. It comes from source. It is God. It is this powerful energy that clears up the way, that makes things easier. So allow yourself to recognize yourself in this abundance. And to know there is always more where that comes from. So let it flow back to you and from you, and to let it be an abundance of it, no matter what the present day circumstances. No, they can be changed from one day to the next. So I hope this message was interesting for you. I wish you this abundance of money and finances for as long as you do not hurt somebody to get it. There is nothing wrong about money. Money feels good to receive. Money feels good to spend. So to invest. So it's like there can be nothing wrong about something that feels good as long as we don't have to sacrifice the well-being of others. I've heard some capitalists that were saying on 60 Minutes or something, this big billionaire. I said, well, as a capitalist, even if I have to create wars and famines in order to make money, I feel justified. Well, that's not justified. This is not justifiable. I'm not talking about this kind of money. And people are just like, oh, it's okay. He's making so much money. We can let him speak. But it's not the kind of money I'm talking about. The money that comes to you as a light worker comes from the universe. It comes from love. And it will bring you joy. So I wanted to speak about the black hole, white hole, and blue holes. This is a called a white hole, number 3, and it's on board. And there is a whole texture here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a whole texture, and there's been some splash from other paintings, but I kind of like it, so I didn't remove them. And it's got those transparents. In a sense, we scientists, contemporary scientists will tell you they know what black holes. They don't know white holes or blue holes, but in a sense, they do not know what black holes are. And you will see in due time that what I'm saying is very scientific in essence. For what they call black holes are stars that have been collapsed on themselves, and in a sense they are dark islands of space. And those dark islands of space are used by the spirit force to harmonize the living stars and systems, and to balance it out so they can find an equilibrium in the galaxy. And as they draw in the energy from the cosmos, they accumulate eventually enough energy so they can be reactivated. But they're not what we think they are. But in a sense, we're all connected to a black hole at the bottom roots of our beings. When we fell asleep at night, we go through that black hole and we move into this other dimension. And when we awaken in the morning, our consciousness goes through and return to this dimension. So white holes, black holes, and blue holes are interdimensional portals that we learn to use. It's how the starships and spaceships move from dimension to dimension, to planet, even as individual. Once we master that technique, we'll be able to teleport ourselves from worlds to worlds without even technology. And so I've never been visited a white hole or blue hole. They're connected to higher celestial dimension for travel. But I've been taken into black hole. And one morning, Spirit took me into this black hole. It was this amazing energy. The black was so beautiful, and it was a black hole. And so they let me see what was going on before I awakened. So it was quite a gift. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I'm going to finish with a song that speaks like Marc Aurèle. Marcus Aurelius was a philosopher. There was the embodiment of the perfection of the Platonician ideal. He was a king and a philosopher. He was born as a king, a Roman emperor, and all his life he ruled. He knew that he was born to rule men, but he was wise and he was kind and he was understanding. So everybody loved him, and so at the end of his life, he wrote those thoughts for himself, and he was turning to his inner guide, and so his inner guide was explaining to him, all you are, all you believe, everything you think is so important, in one moment of eternity will be gone, will be dust. Everybody will have forgotten everything about all this and all those people, and will be replaced by something else. So do not take yourself too seriously, just enjoy your life as we can. And so this song is called Dust in the Wind. We are all made of dust, stardust. And that's so we come from this star, the stardust, and then we create it into form, and then we go through an experience in time, and then we will return to the stars. We become stardust. From dust to dust, all things remain. A song called Dust in the Wind. I close my eyes only for a moment, and the moment's gone. All my dreams pass before my eyes, a curiosity, dust in the wind. All they are is dust in the wind. Same old song, just a drop of water in an endless sea. All we do crumbles to the ground, though we refuse to see. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Now don't hang on. Nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. It sleeps away. And all your money won't another minute by. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. Everything is dust in the wind. Alright, so seek the day, enjoy the day. I want to finish usually I finish my video with this term namaste, because the divinity within me, recognize and salute the divinity within you. But there is another salute at the end that I like, it's called salat. And my friend the Ashtar was often finishing his video by these words. And so I was wondering, and I looked, it's in a sense, it means prayer. It's come from the Quran, it means prayer. It means that, and it's a prayer that is turned to the one, the great one that is all, the one that, the supreme being. In the Urantia book, they say if you have a prayer, you turn it to your creator son, the father God of your universe, or the eternal son of paradise. They say it's okay to turn to the universal father, but the eternal son will be receiving your prayer. But because the Urantia book does not reveal any of the deified being, and so the supreme, it's kind of like, it's a nice word to use, because it's a prayer, but it includes this unity, this great being that is Allah, that is the one that is all. And so the cosmic mind, the source of all, that is all knowledge in many sense. And so it's a nice little end greeting. So I thought I use it sometimes. Well, I hope you find this video interesting. I wish you a wonderful day. Salat.